Good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. So today's the first day. We start with 9 fruits of the Spirit and love. So today, I thought what we do is I broke it up in little sections, and then I would read the sections and I'll go over the questions with you, and then you can answer them on your own because they pretty much are thought reflective questions, and then I'll pick up tomorrow morning where I left off today. So love. Agape, which is Greek, meaning God's fruit of love, which is given away with pure motive and most generously. The fruit of the Spirit is love. Miracles can be counterfeited and gifts can be imitated. History is full of examples of such pseudo-religious pretenders, but the fruit of the Spirit cannot be imitated. Why? Because the fruit of the Spirit is manifested by what a person is and not what a person does. Jesus Christ forever set the record straight when he said, "By their fruits you shall know them." This fruit is eternal and eternal lasting, while miracles will fade. The most important part of the message which Jesus preached and which his followers taught is that God is concerned about what is on the inside and further development of these traits through the Spirit. The power of Christ was not really in the miracles which he performed, but rather in the message which he left for us. Our day is marked by the pseudo, the unreal, the false, the spin, and virtual reality, which is not real at all. We shall be known and remembered by what we are rather than what we do. How about following this for a lifestyle principle? Your beauty should not come from outward adornment. Instead, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. 1 Peter 3:3-4. There are hundreds of definitions of love, but what does the Bible have to say about love and how it's defined and how it's lived out? Let's start with the reading, 1 Corinthians 13:4-13. And I am going to be reading from the New Living Translation. This is my inspired Bible that was gifted to me last year by Miss Audra Jennings. And so let's read Corinthians 13:4-13. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no records of being wronged. It does not rejoice when about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Prophecy and speaking in unknown languages, special knowledge will become useless, but love will last forever. Now our knowledge is partial and incomplete, and even the gift of prophecy reveals only part of the whole picture. But when the time of perfection comes, these partial things will become useless. When I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child, but when I grew up, I put away childish things. Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in the mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. All that I know is now partial and incomplete, but then I will know everything completely, just as God knows me completely. 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. You know, we hear this scripture read a lot for weddings and things, but you know, it's not just that kind of love. It's not a romantic love. It's a godly love. It's a love that we should love others with. So I hope that if you're watching, you have your little notebook with you, but I'm going to try to write all the questions and things down in the description box for you. So it says, in your own life, how has true meaning been confused. Based on this scripture, name the major positive characteristics which show what love is and does. And we know it's patient, kind, hopeful, faithful. Name what love is not and does not do, based on the scripture that we read. How long-lasting is this kind of love? Think of someone you know who is loving. Name some specific ways in which he or she demonstrates love to and for others. And what are the gifts of the Spirit which Paul calls attention to in the entire chapter? Why are the gifts worth nothing without love? Compare the development of the fruit in the life of a believer with that of the maturing of a child. Why do you think that love is listed as the greatest? And I'm just going to interject here because I know without love, everything else is useless. Because nothing works if you cannot love. Now that you have looked and listed the qualities of love, which one are you in most need of working in your life? For me, it's patience. What life situation are you currently experiencing where you could demonstrate this kind of love? And down here, it has like a little assignment thing, and it says, it's been noted that 1 Corinthians 13 paints a composite picture of the person and character of Jesus Christ. Please reread this chapter, replacing the word love with the word Jesus. As you do, meditate upon any new insights into the character of Christ which comes to you. And then think of one person into which you need to pour some of this kind of agape love into. So, my friends, it's very enlightening when you define love on the basis of what God says love is. So I hope you will join me again tomorrow morning, and we will talk about loving others. Now, once we finish, if you would like to take a day just to discuss the whole thing, let me know, and we can do that. And maybe I'll do our daily devotion live that morning. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow morning when we will pick up with loving others. God bless and have a beautiful day.